Hey everyone, welcome back to another recap podcast from SNXweave, where we give quick weekly recaps of news and important updates from the previous week from the Spartan Council and core contributors, as well as discuss what the Grants Council and ambassadors are up to, so let's get started. There are no major milestone updates since last week, but the audit for SIP 255, to burn fees instead of distributing them, is planned to happen after the V3 audit is complete and will go out on the next release. And speaking of V3, the audit feedback is starting to roll in at a faster pace. A couple of the CCs are working on the spot market implementation currently, which is in a pretty solid place. After the spot market implementation, the focus will shift towards processing audit feedback and preparing for launch, which means preparing the deployment pipeline and tooling. Next, some updates were made to Perps v2, and the core contributors are working on a second batch of improvements based on the alpha feedback. SNXweave said they're looking at ways to optimize the timing with the auditors to implement high impact yet relatively simple fixes. The small improvements now should allow open interest caps to be expanded. Last week, the council also discussed Perps v2 offerings and whether it was necessary to have a separate SIP for each product being offered in Perps v2, even though they're already available in Perps v1. SNXweave suggested a single SIP adding all of the already approved Spartan Council markets from Perps v1 to Perps v2. Caleb also brought up a past SIP where the Spartan Council rejected the idea of adding new variations of offerings via SCCP only. SNXweave highlighted that if the Perps contracts were upgradable, everything would have carried over to the new contracts, with the only votes happening to approve the new version of Perps. Next up, in Grants Council updates, the stats page is live. The council is still figuring out some of the Dune formatting, as they have said they need a Dune API to allow building out custom stats pages to pull data from Dune. This may require a core contributor and security considerations, which they are currently discussing. For the NFT project, Anna is going to get some firm dates on delivery from the NFT team, as the council has completed reviewing all of the moving parts on their side, including the whitelist, the website, auctions and marketing, social media, and testnet contracts and development status. Alexander is also working on making a nice shareable graphic with SNX volume and fees statistics for marketing purposes, and he has discussed trying bounties for Dune analytics work. In ambassador updates, the team discussed future Spartan spaces, including Illuvium, Armada, and Lido. They will be on Twitter with Illuvium tomorrow, so be sure to join. The optimism votes are in, so the next phase for the ambassadors is to start looking for integration opportunities with all these new protocols coming to Optimism, which is their top priority right now. The team also had an update from the Treasury Council. The staked out vote market will be used for a 10,000 SNX weekly bribe, and the ambassadors anticipate needing more for Optimism relatively soon. Lastly, in external protocol updates, check out our blog for a link to a tweet from Polynomial that Matt retweeted that teases a new product coming from them in 2023. Also, a couple of community members are still working on prepping a SIP for a better volume source fee program, which should make the ambassador's job a bit easier when it comes to protocol integrations. And that's it for today's updates. Be sure to check out our weekly recap blog post, share this podcast link, and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear more about from SNXweave. Thanks for listening.